Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for Tuesday, March 28th. And we got ourselves a 10-game slate here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays. And then we'll wrap up today's video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. Got one of these games coming in with an implied total of 7 goals, 4 games coming in at 6.5, and then 5 games coming in at 6 goals even. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see each team who's favored to win tonight. And then here's a schedule update for this week. For sure going to have a video up for you guys here today, Thursday, and Friday, breaking down each one of those NHL DFS slates. However, it's unlikely I'm able to create a video for tomorrow's 3-game NHL slate, as I do have something going on here tonight, and not entirely sure what time I am going to get home. If I get home at a decent time and I'm able to study that slate, I will for sure post a video. I'll keep you guys posted on that in my Discord channel. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the New York Rangers. We got Zibanejad centering Panarin and Tarasenko. Honestly, I'm okay rostering any one of the top 3 lines here tonight for the Rangers, and a great matchup at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who have been abysmal as of late, allowing almost 6.5 goals per game in their last 5 games, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 55% rate. I mean, those are gruesome numbers, and this line here has been very productive as of late, having combined for 10 goals, 15 assists, 25 points in their last 7 games, averaging over 3 points per game. We'll see Zibanejad and Panarin play up on the number 1 power play, and then Tarasenko plays down on the second. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that second or third line for the Dallas Stars. Whatever website you're looking at, they're certainly not the first line, but it's a relatively cheap line stack here with some nice upside and a good matchup against the Chicago Blackhawks, a team that's allowed almost 4.5 goals per game in their last 5 games, with a penalty kill hitting at just a 67% rate. We got Johnson centering Ben and Dadonov. We'll see Johnson and Dadonov play on that number 2 power play. Ben plays up on the number 1 power play, but these guys should log solid minutes together 5-on-5, and the 3 have now combined for 14 goals, 16 assists, 30 points in their last 10 games. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And again, if you want to join my Discord channel, there's a link to do so in the description below. Not only do I give updates there, but we got a great group of people in there talking hockey and talking prize picks as well. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. First guy I got there is Jake Guentzel of the Pittsburgh Penguins, sitting in a solid road matchup tonight against the Detroit Red Wings, who are definitely not going to make the playoffs this year. They made a nice little run and they're certainly improving, but they slipped up here a little bit defensively, having allowed 3.80 goals per game in their last 5 games. And that first line, ever since they reunited Brian Rust with Crosby and Guentzel, we're starting to see them play together like we saw towards the end of last year, where they were really dominating the pace of play. You can see Guentzel here's racked up 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points in his past 10 games. 5 of those points coming on the power play, while averaging close to 4.5 shots on net per game. Now, speaking of forwards that have found their game here as of late, look no further than Victor Arvidsson of the Los Angeles Kings, who's playing some phenomenal hockey right now. Now, unfortunately, Kevin Fiala did come back last game, and I do like that he's playing 5-on-5 with Fiala on that second line. You got Philip Deneau centering that second line. LA looks really good top to bottom right now, but unfortunately, Fiala did steal his spot on the number 1 power play, putting Arvidsson back down on the number 2 power play. For what it's worth, I'm looking at last game, that second power play actually had more ice time than the first power play, so they do split up their power play units pretty evenly. But again, Arvidsson's playing really good hockey right now. 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points here in his past 10 games. 5 of those points coming on the power play, while averaging close to 5 shots on net per game. I then got Jonathan Marchessault there of the Vegas Golden Knights, who catch an Edmonton Oilers team playing on back-to-back nights on the road after winning last night in Arizona 5-4. I've talked about this Oilers team. They know how to win games, they know how to score goals, but they're not a great defensive team, and their goaltending can be shaky. We look at their last 5 games here, having allowed 3.80 goals per game, with a penalty kill hitting at just a 75% rate. I like the way that Marchessault's played here as of late, with 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in his last 10 games. games. I then got Jacob Vrana there, who started to find his scoring touch once again ever since being traded from Detroit to St. Louis. Really good to see that. I know he was dealing with some personal things earlier this season. It's great to see him getting back to his game where he's a pure shooter who can find the back of the net. He's done exactly that here with St. Louis. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points here in his past 10 games. 3 of those goals coming on the power play, and I like the way he's been shooting the puck as well. The Blues catch a Vancouver Canucks team at home here tonight, and the Vancouver Canucks are actually playing some really solid hockey right now, but this is still a team that struggled on the penalty kill all year long. Still have the worst penalty kill, actually, if we look at the season statistics, hitting at just a 71% rate, and that's a team that's allowed 3.63 goals per game this season as well, the 6th most in the NHL. And then on the other side of that game here, I'm not going to be afraid to stack up the Vancouver Canucks, being that the St. Louis Blues aren't a very good defensive team either. Goaltending has been shaky for them as well. They're a team that's allowed 3.64 goals per game this season, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. Besser plays on the second line with JT Miller and up on the number 1 power play, and you can see here he's racked up 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points in his past 10 games. Now moving over here to the defensemen, and I'm going to have no problem spending up at this position here tonight. I think there's a lot more value at the forward position than there is at the defensive position, so I'd be willing to pay up for guys like Miro Heiskanen and Adam Fox. Some other top tier plays on this slate for sure as well, but these were the top 2 guys that stuck out to me. Heiskanen's been absolutely phenomenal as of late. Adam Fox, definitely someone who can find the score sheet and runs the number 1 power play. Yeah, I talked about both of these matchups here when I was going through the line stacks. I clearly like those matchups for those teams. However, I want to focus a little more in here on Mike Matheson of the Montreal Canadiens, who's playing lights out hockey himself right now. You can see here in his last 8 games, he's put up points in 7 of those games with 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. You got 3 of those points coming on the power play, averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game, and has a good matchup to expand on that here tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. And then if you're looking for a low-price defensive option, I got those honorable mentions in the notes off to the right-hand side, but my favorite play would be Evan Bouchard. Look, I know I've highlighted him a lot here over the past few weeks, but as long as he remains up on that number 1 power play for the Oilers, which has been the league's best all year long, he's going to be in consideration at this price here, $3,600, coming fresh off a game just last night where he scored a goal and had an assist as well. And then I got a couple of goaltenders there for you, kind of a higher priced and mid-priced option. First being Linus Ullmark of the Boston Bruins. Probably don't need to convince anyone to play him. He's been the best goalie in the NHL all year long with a 36-5-1 record. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Goals allowed average of 1.92 and a save percentage of .937, averaging close to 19 DraftKings points per game. And then Jonas Korpisalo there of the Los Angeles Kings. Been really good for the Kings ever since being traded from Columbus. He's 4-0-1 in his first 5 starts with a goals allowed average of 1.77, save percentage of .929. The LA Kings are also 8-0-2 in their last 10 games, playing a Calgary Flames team who hasn't played very good hockey as of late. They're just 5-3-2 in their last 10. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. For starters, you probably saw the notes just change. I did have Joel Farabee listed here originally, changed that to Sammy Blais, but forgot to update the notes. I got a handful of honorable mentions here as well. Like I said, a lot of value at the forward position in general. First guy that got highlighted there, though, is Nicholas Roy of the Vegas Golden Knights, currently playing on the 3rd line in number 1 power play. Played well here as of late with 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in his past 7 games, where he's hit double-digit DraftKings points in 5 of those games. Next is Sammy Blais of the St. Louis Blues, currently playing on the 3rd line in number 1 power play. Playing phenomenal right now. 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points in his past 10 games, averaging 11.2 DraftKings points per game during that stretch. Just absolutely crushing value at this current price. And then Tyson Forrester there of the Philadelphia Flyers, bare minimum of $2,500, plays on the 2nd line in number 1 power play. He's currently riding a 5-game point streak right now where he's put up 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points, logging around 17 minutes per game. And then to wrap up this video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. Tuesdays are notoriously the best days for prize picks, especially on the NHL side of things. Unfortunately, as I record here this morning, they only have 3 different sets of props out, the shots on goal, hits, and block shots. That's okay, you guys know the plan of attack here anyway. I wait for all of these picks to come out, plus a taco pick that should be expected here today. Do my research and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. Don't forget, I am posting all of my prize picks in my Discord channel too. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Now, if you have not signed up for prize picks yet and you want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prizepicks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Again, folks, I know I've mentioned this all year long, but if you haven't signed up, you don't have to put $100 in. You could put in 50, you could put in 20, you could put anything up to $100, and Prizepicks will match that. Again, as long as you're using my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 10-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.